I'm Dave Shaw from Morris Magnetos. Morris Magneto is located in Morristown, New Jersey. In 1969, I started and had quite a bit of experience in repairing motorcycles and working on magnetos. Back in those days, magnetos were problematic. Aftermarket magnetos were fixed timing and hard to start. So by the mid-70s, we developed a magneto that you could retard for starting, made starting easier. Matter of fact, today we still only make all our magnetos with a means of retarding for starting. In the beginning, we used Fairbanks Morris mag heads. That's the basic unit that everyone used, Harley Davidson included. They began to have worse properties to them. The dyes they were made with were more worn, things of that nature. And the quality went downhill. So what we did was we decided to make our own units. We had a machine shop and started to do just that. We'd made the housings out of billet, and we'd gone to rare earth magnets in the rotor. Magnetos were of the standard type for motorcycles. What that meant is as fast as you turned the motor, that's how fast the magneto turned. Well, a magneto, one of the great features of it is the faster it turns, the hotter the spark. Gives you good RPMs. The opposite side of that, though, the slower it turns, the less spark. So by the 80s, what we did is developed a magneto to fit on a Harley that had an impulse coupling. And what an impulse coupling does is winds up a spring, then lets go of the magneto at retarded timing. So you get a full spark for starting at retarded timing. Everything you need to make a magneto start the motorcycle great. We've gone on to develop it for generator motors, twin cams, Evos, shovel heads, just about every big twin. We've even got one for flatheads. A magneto is really nothing more than a spinning magnet. We put the magnetism through a coil, high voltage comes out, and we run it to the spark plugs, it fires the mixture. The advantage of a magneto is the faster it turns, the hotter the spark. When you get into your higher RPMs, that's a real advantage because while you've got tornadoes going on, that's where you really need it. It'll make a difference you can feel. Well, the other side of the coin, however, was the slower it turned, the less spark, which is why the impulse is so important. The impulse does the job of turning the magneto fast, no matter how slow you're going with the motor. It winds the spring up, lets go at retarded timing, and you get a killer spark. Whether you're going electric start, kick start, doesn't matter, it'll give you a full spark. It'll do so without a battery needed, without wiring needed. That's it, just a magneto giving you direct drive spark. Direct drive spark as opposed to battery coil ignition. In a battery coil ignition, you'd go through about 4 energy conversions. Spinning a magnet in an alternator or generator, making 12 volts, putting it into a battery, pumping it into a coil to make, of all things, magnetism, and then converting that magnetism to high voltage. Faster the motor spins, the more you're coiling for sparks, the less time for that magnetic field to build up, you get less and less spark. By the 90s, we'd begun making our own magneto and rotor, magneto housing out of billet, and a rotor with rare earth magnets. Now, rare earth magnets are about twice as strong a material than what we'd been using. So that increased the spark even that much more. Now we had a killer spark all the way through the spectrum. Rare earth magnets are a combination of a number of materials, neodymium, iron, number of materials, boron, and they're such a strong material, you can use a smaller magnet. Now, inside the rotor, we can only stuff so big a magnet. By using the same size, we get a heck of a lot more power than the Alnico magnets we used to use. Rare earth magnets don't need recharging, whereas the Alnico, over time, would lose power and need charging. Morris magnetos are designed to last a very, very long time. They're basically a lifetime investment. I've had guys bring magnetos to me that are 30, even 40 years old, and say, here, go through my magneto. It's old. We'd check it out, it's still working, but we'd go through and just freshen it up. They go for a long time. This motorcycle behind me, it's a 1962 XLR frame, 1967 engine. That Magneto's been there well over 20 years. Still going great. We just took it to lunch today. Morris Magnetos are built for a lifetime of service. We've been developing them since 1969, and we use billet housings now, rare earth magnets, stainless steel cups, all the best material. Polished cam, you name it. You get all that made in the USA by Morris Magnetos. Visit us at morrismagnetos.com or on Facebook.